Good morning. Welcome to the Community Review on Hot 92.3. I'm Josefa Salinas, your host. We are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, and I do my series Profiles in Life and Success, profiling people from all walks of life. I have a couple of hermanas in the house today. I absolutely love these ladies. If you have never seen their show, Let's Talk, I'm telling you, you have got to see it. Also, LatinHeat Media has been bringing us all kinds of information for so many years. The CEO of LatinHeat Media and the executive producer of Let's Talk, Belle Hernandez, is in the house. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias, Josefa. Thank you so much for having us here.
It's
We're
wonderful,
lovely to be here.
absolutely wonderful to have you back. And one of the co-hosts, actress and comedian Diana Ortelli. Good morning.
Good morning, Josefa. So happy to be here.
Well,
good to
it's
see
good to have you. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month.
Thank you.
And all of that. It's wonderful to be profiling two amazing Latinas.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead.
And we do want to say that our other two co-hosts couldn't be here with us today, but, we'll talk
We'll
about
shout
the
out
show.
their names real quick. Hi to...
Naibe Reynoso and Quique Castillo.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Belle and a little bit about Diana.
Okay.
Okay.
Why not?
Why not? What the heck? Let's talk about where you come from and how you got to where you are today.
Well, actually, I was born in Boyle Heights. No, I was not. I was brought up in Boyle Heights.
You were born in
I was born in
Matamoros.
I was born in Zacatecas, Mexico. And when I was 5, I came over. Grew up in Boyle Heights and started dancing folklorico. And from there, as a dancer, I got into Zoot Suit, the wonderful play by Luis Valdez in the late 70s, and is where I met Diana, actually. That's where we met.
I was going to say our careers took off at the same point because my first job in Hollywood was Zoot Suit. And so was it your first job too, Belle?
Yes.
And so we've known each other ever since. That was a good 30 years ago. We were children.
Yes, of course.
12 years old, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, we were in middle school, I think.
But we both started after that. We both started working commercials and TV and film, and that's where we ended up now full circle. Because when we started our talk show, Diana was the perfect person because she went an extra title than I. She is comedian as well.
Mm-hmm.
And activist, but you're an activist too. We forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Belle and I have had a very similar journey because even since back when we started in Zoot Suit, we were talking. I mean, we were very excited to be working on Zoot Suit, but after that, we both fell into the trap of going out for all the stereotypical Latino roles. We found ourselves auditioning for hookers and drug dealers and gang members. And it took us a while to realize, well, what is going on with these Latino images in television and film? And we became very outspoken. And actually, that's how LatinHeat was born.
Right. But we even before LatinHeat was born, we would go to SAG, all the actor unions, and we would demand, why aren't we getting roles? Why aren't there any roles? So we were doing all of this, and then the straw that broke the camel's back was when Laura San Giacomo was cast as Frida, and then that's when Diana said, I don't know about you ladies. She called a meeting of all the actresses and said, I don't know about you ladies, but I'm not going to take this laying down. And she put together a protest, and we all followed, and it was great.
Yeah, basically the Frida Kahlo movie project came along, and I said, if they do not cast a Latina as Frida Kahlo, I will be out there picketing. And sure enough, they did not cast a Latina.
But this was in 1992, not the Salma Hayek.
Yeah. And so, of course, they cast an Italian from New York and would actually auditioned very few Latinas, if any, for the part. And so we organized a protest, we picketed, and LatinHeat was born out of that. Mm-hmm. And we just decided that Latinos, but especially Latina women, needed to have a voice. And LatinHeat became that voice for, Latinos in the entertainment industry.
And you fast forward now to 2009, and we decided that, again, Latinas did not have a voice.
On TV. In
TV.
mainstream media in general.
On the talk show circuit. 15 years of The View and not one Latina co-host.
Yeah, that's kind of. I've always looked at it like, huh?
What? I know.
Are you not seeing the same America I'm seeing?
Right. Well, they're not. Obviously, they're not. And what really happened is that Belle said, "Shut up, Diana. We'll do our own talk show." I'm tired of hearing you say, "Why doesn't Barbara Walters have a Latina on The View?" But it is amazing. You know what's even more amazing is that when I mention it to non-Latinos, they're Bolivios, as my Dominican friends would say. They're oblivious. They go, "Oh, I never thought about that." And I go, "Really? You never thought about the fact that the largest minority in the nation continues to be excluded from the conversation in mainstream media?" That's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah,
Come on, do you think Barbara Walters doesn't know that we're the largest minority,
sure
and our purchasing power of Latinos? It's unacceptable. It's really what it is.
It's just a different perspective that nowadays, with all of the sentiment against the undocumented workers and also with Latinos, I mean, there really is a bad vibe out there that we're not allowed to have a voice where we can show a different perspective from what you hear on this hate radio. Like a lot of the conservative radio talk show hosts, there is another side, and no one is talking about that.
Right.
And that's what our show is about. It's about bringing the Latina perspective. It's about bringing a different perspective than what you see. Yeah. So we have done a show on immigration. We actually did a show on hate crimes about the
hate
gentleman
crimes against Latinos
in Shenandoah who was killed by those young kids, and also fun topics, plastic surgery and
fashion,
so
sex, infidelity,
life,
but with a Latino perspective,
right.
Because it could be that because of our culture, we have a different perspective even about sex and infidelity, and how does the whole machismo thing play into that, and the way we were raised much more conservatively by, Catholic, Latino parents.
And also, although it's a different perspective, it doesn't mean that it's just for Latinos. I mean, we have a lot of fans who are non-Latinos, who are men. One gentleman...
Men do love the show.
One gentleman wrote that he saw the Let's Talk Sex episode we did, and he said, "I learned so much. This is great." So it's not just for women. It's for everyone.
Yeah.
And it's universal topics, but with a different perspective. And that's what we like. And so we went from the web. We started on the web, and now we had a season on local LA television station, KJLA, and the response has been
phenomenal.
Great. Wonderful.
And the other thing that we should mention about our show, not only are we bringing topics like immigration and hate crimes against Latinos that are not being touched upon at all on shows, on mainstream talk shows like The View and The Talk, we're also showcasing our Latino celebrities that we love, the people, the movers and shakers that are bringing those programs about Latinos, like the Dennis Leones that are doing series like Los Americans, our Isai Morales that we love, Benito Martinez. They're also not getting the attention they deserve in mainstream media. So we're bringing it.
And Nick Chavez, a great hairstylist to the stars, and also authors. We had Sandra
Novelist, Alisa Valdez Rodriguez,
Josefina Lopez.
Again, people that are, being ignored by mainstream media and deserve, to get that attention. And films that, again, nobody else is talking about. Bless Me Ultima. And it was such a popular Chicano novel, and it's being made into a movie. Well, I think our community wants to know about stuff like that.
And I know you had Isai Morales also come and talk about Gun Hill Road, and he was on our show as well. Those kinds of movies are so important. And again, it's you, a Latina, featuring a Latino. And of course, to be fair, he was on The Talk, and he has done some other talk shows. But, those are important people that we need to feature. And I know you totally understand that because I love your show and all the people that you bring to the airwaves.
Well, then I think that it's also important that the general public understand that sometimes people try to typecast situations. I had a publicist once that only wanted to send me to Latino events. I said, well, why didn't you send me to that? Well, it wasn't a Latino event. I said, okay, so what?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to just be
Yeah.
like Latinos are interested in all kinds of things.
Correct.
That's why I try to
Exactly.
make my show as wide as possible because you never know what people are interested in.
Yeah.
Do I do a little more featuring in this area? Yeah, I'm a Latina.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Well, we really need
You know,
to
I'm a woman,
enlighten
you know?
America, honestly, because again, it's mind-boggling to me that they still perceive us as Spanish-speaking foreigners. They don't see us as part of the fabric of America.
Exactly.
Because we've got this talk show with 4 Latina women. Oh, is it in Spanish? The first thing they ask. And I go, no, we actually speak English. We're actually part of the fabric of America. Imagine that.
And you know, back in when we were printing Latin Heat, we coined a word back in 1997, 98, which instead of saying we're Mexican American, we're Puerto Rican American, Venezolanos American, if we're born here and we live here and we're citizens, in which the majority of Latinos that live here are, we are American Latino. Because when you say I'm Mexican American, that means already you're foreign. You're Mexican American. We are American of Mexican descent. We are American of Puerto Rican descent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Puerto Ricans are American, but you know, the Venezolanos and the Cubans and all that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we are America. We are Americans, and we need to put that out there so that people understand that that's a different perspective.
And also those other terms that are so specific, they divide us, you know, because it's Puerto Rican and it's Mexican. And if we don't all embrace, you know, one another under, you know, one name, that's one of the problems with Latinos.
I
that
was just kidding. You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest complaints.
Yeah, we're
that
not
I have is
united.
all this, you know, she's
Oh,
from
but he's
Guatemala.
Cuban and
no,
oh,
this is Cuban. Oh my God, please, not
yes,
a Cuban.
and Argentinos. Oh no, they're not even Latinos.
Yeah,
they're European.
But you know what's important is for all of us to realize that it's divide and conquer mentality that's going on, and we should not be dissing each other. To me, I say we are all American Latinos. We share a couple of things. We share a semblance of the same language. We can communicate. We might call some things a little bit differently, but we can communicate. And we all are very family oriented. That's what we need to focus on. And remember that when we start getting into, but you know, the Cubans this and then the Mexicans that, it's only hindering
It's divisive,
us.
yeah.
It's divisive.
Yeah.
We need to focus on the positive things, and we need to understand that we are 16% of the population. We have a lot to say, and we need to say it, and we need to vote. And that's the way we're going to get our message across. And, you know, people, I know that some talk show hosts are afraid that, you know, we're taking over the Reconquista, all that, you know.
Right.
That's
right.
like we're Americans, you know, all we want is what America has to offer its citizens. And that's it. We're
But
talking about Americans.
statistically, we've shown that we consume a lot of English-speaking media. We're part of America. And, you know, that misconception that we only watch Spanish TV and telenovelas. Right. It's like, come on. I mean, most people that I know are not. Mm-hmm. You know, we're watching American TV and, you know, just like every other American. Right, we are part of the fabric of America.
And that's the perspective that we have on our show, Let's Talk, because I think that that's information that a lot of people don't know. Mm-hmm. And so it's just, you know.
And some of us are even educated. I go, even though in television and film we only play what I call the people, undocumented, unemployed, uneducated, and on drugs. But in real life, that's not who we are.
Exactly. Well, you know, congratulations on Let's Talk finally making it to the television airwaves, and make sure that when the season comes back that you let us know that it's going to be on so that we can let the whole world know that it's on so people can watch it and support it. Because that's how Oprah started. Oprah started as a local TV show in Chicago.
And that's what we're aiming to become national. But right now, people can go and see some of our clips from our TV show. We have clips, 5-minute clips, and you can go to letstalkshow.net. And you can see our show. You could go to Latin Heat as well.
You can see full episodes too, some of our older ones. And then you can see our interviews with Isai Morales and with Dennis Leone and Nick Chavez, everybody.
Right. So you could go all of those places. You could also go to Blip TV and find it there. So we're all over. We're also on UrbanoTV.com. We're there as well. So, we're everywhere. On the net. Go to our website and give us your feedback. Tell us what you'd like to see. Tell us what, you haven't, seen anywhere else, because if it's Latino, we'll get it. And like you said, we also do everything, not just Latino stuff. It's a lot of different
We love
topics.
to get feedback. And when you go to our webpage, you can post comments, positive or negative. We like to get them all, and we respond.
Because it helps you grow.
Yes.
Now, Latin Heat, the online magazine, which I absolutely love, because that's how I catch up on the gossip on everybody.
Yes, el chisme on all the Latino celebrities.
How do I get so that you're sending me this subscription if I wanted to come to my email?
Oh, great. Just go to LatinHeat.com, sign up for our mailing list. You get a free newsletter, and it keeps you up on what's happening on new up-and-coming talent, the actors, the producers, the stories. It keeps you up to date.
The new pilots that get picked up. It's the best way to stay in the loop.
Incredible industry overview of everybody who's doing what, where they're doing it, how they're doing it, who's not doing it anymore,
right?
And who should not be doing it.
There you go.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I always read it from top to bottom every time I get it. So again, LatinHeat.com if you'd like to get this newsletter sent to you and keep up on what's going on in the Latin entertainment industry, everybody who's doing it and who they're doing it with. And then there's also Let's Talk. Let'sTalkShow.net is the website where you can go and see snippets of their previous shows, as well as some of the older shows that are there in full. Or
UrbanoTV.com.
UrbanoTV.com. Just check these ladies out. Okay, Belle and Diana, thank you so much for coming down today and being amazing, inspirational profiles in life and success. My microphone is your microphone. Mi casa es su casa. You are welcome here every time you want to be here.
Thank you, Josefa. It's great sharing a voice with you, Latina voice today.
And you have such a beautiful voice that you share. Thank you so much.
Another amazing profile in life and success. Thank you, ladies. Coming up next, Sheriff Leroy Baca is here to give his side of what's going on in the LA County Jail. You're not going to want to miss the first in this 3-part series. Next on the Community Review, Hot 92.3.